2 state record fish from the same state in the same year. Where have we heard that before? Stay tuned, we're going to talk about it. Now, catching 2 state record fish from the same state in the same year is extremely rare, but it has happened. Now, one place that has happened 2 times in the past decade is in North Carolina. North Carolina, a couple of years ago, had the flathead and blue catfish record broken in the same year. And several years ago, Zach Royce broke the state record for a blue catfish not only twice in the same year, but literally twice within 48 hours. Yes, back in 2015, Zach Royce, fishing on Lake Gaston in eastern North Carolina, broke the record for a blue catfish in North Carolina. The record was at 89 pounds, and he beat it with a 91-pound catfish. Yes, Zach got the fish weighed, got it certified, took it and released it back into Lake Gaston. It swam off fine, and he decided to go fishing again. In what became a tale from Ripley's Believe It or Not, he caught another fish, another massive fish, another state record. Fast forward 5 years in North Carolina again in the eastern part of the state. The flathead record and the blue catfish record fell just weeks apart. In July of 2020, Joey Baird was the first one to break the record that year with a 121-pound monster blue from Lake Gaston, the same lake that Zach Royce had caught his fish from, down in eastern North Carolina. Then a few weeks later, Tyler Barnes breaks the flathead record in North Carolina with a 78.8-pound flathead from the Neuse River. So you see, these records can happen and they can be broken in flurries. And that brings us to today, where we have 2 state record fish, blue catfish from Mississippi. Now, the first one was caught by Eugene Cronley in April. He was fishing on the Mississippi River near Natchez using skipjack, and he caught a monster fish. Well, Cronley claims he was only fishing about 5 minutes when the rod folded over, and it took about 30 minutes to get it to the boat. When he got it in the boat, it was a whopping 57 inches long. Now, believe it or not, the previous Mississippi state record for a blue catfish was 95 pounds. And while this is a great fish, you would expect something much bigger to be coming out of Mississippi and the Mississippi River. Eugene Cronley's fish was 131 pounds. Now, this second record might be a little bit confusing because it actually weighs less than the fish that Eugene Cronley caught. You see, in Mississippi, they have 3 different record categories. They have one for fly fishing, one for rod and reel, and another for trophy record fish. Now, Eugene Cronley's fish, the 131-pound blue, was caught on a rod and reel, traditional sporting means for fishing that all records around the country are based on. Now, this other fish that Christopher Halley caught, 104 pounds, was caught on a trot line. Now, what is a trot line? A trot line is basically a long string of hooks, multiple hooks, sometimes 10, sometimes 100. These lines are put out, they are left in the water. Anglers may come back and check them a few hours later, a few days later, or maybe weeks later. Fish caught in this category in Mississippi are put into this trophy record fish category. Now, Mississippi is one of the few states that consider these fish caught by these non-sporting means as record eligible in this special category. As a matter of fact, Cronley's 131-pound fish caught on rod and reel might actually be eligible for a world record in the line class that it was caught on, which was 30-pound line. The 104-pound fish caught on the trot line would not be eligible for any of those world records. Now, what makes one type of fishing sporting and the other not? Well, the biggest thing is the angler involvement in catching the fish. Now, with rod and reel fishing, there's a lot the angler can do wrong that will result in the fish getting away. Probably one of the biggest things is not being there. And what I mean by that is, with rod and reel fishing, you have to be there with the rod and the reel to fight the fish whenever you hook it. With fish nets, trot lines, baskets, the angler doesn't have to be there. One of the biggest things anglers have going against them, hunters also, is patience. That ability to be there for the battle, for the contact, to be there when the game shows up. And when you eliminate that from the equation, it changes the game drastically. Now, with all that said, it's a perfectly legal way to fish in most states, though some states do ban these unattended means of catching fish. In the end, it was a great year for Mississippi, and it's great to see a couple of 100-pound plus fish being brought to the boat and to the bank. And I got a feeling we're going to be seeing more. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you're going to like. I'd watch that one and then that one. No, do that one first and then that one. I don't know. Just watch them both. They're both good.